Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. Let me see if I can zoom in here just a touch, although some of this is going to be fairly hard to read. After our adventures last week in... what were we doing last week? It was Unsettled. I'm trying to think what... Oh, Star Wars Imperial Assault. After our adventure in the Star Wars world last week, we're coming back to our own solar system, as today we're playing SpaceCorp 2025 to 2300 AD by GMT Games. This one is a space exploration game based in our own solar system, and we're trying to reach out as far as we can. The game is divided into 3 eras. We've got the Mariners era, focusing on Earth and our immediate vicinity. Then we'll have the Planeteers era, where we expand out to the whole solar system. Then we've got the Starfarers, where we'll eventually move out into the expanded Milky Way galaxy. Not sure we're going to play through all 3 eras, just because I do need to be able to because I do need to be able to pull everything up here and switch to a baseball setup for later this afternoon to continue the 1981 season replay in season ticket baseball. This could actually be a good candidate for a game where I just take a day with this one, go through all 3 eras, if I want to do that, potentially during like a long game month or something on the channel. But let's see how far we get before I decide, yeah, we've got to pull this one down. Anyway, we are going to be playing with we're going to be using the Purple Corporation, as we'll tip down to the table, to our corporation board here. We always have the Research 2 action that we can take, and then we've got a Move 1 to start with. We've got our 2 teams as we tab back up as we adjust the camera back up to the board. Might be a little hard to see, but we do have our 2 teams on the base on Earth. So we do have to bear in mind as we start moving out on the solar system that we've got a 2 gravity penalty to get out of Earth. I'll explain more about how that's going to work as we get into the game. Our hand starts off with a chemical drive that we can use as infra, so we can add that to our infrastructure. Our first contract in the Mariners era. I'm going to see if I can adjust that without pulling the cable out. Taking a produce action, having 4 Lagrange bases. There are some points here that are marked with Lagrange. 4 non-Lagrange bases. First base on Mars, which is all the way up here. Genetics cube having advanced 2 spaces. Cards in 3 infra slots, and bases in 5 regions. Each of the divided areas is considered a region. Let's take a look at our starting offers. First up, we have a science module which offers Move 1 or Explore 1. Next up, another science module. Then a third science module, I know I shuffled these, and a cargo pod, which gives us a Move 1 or a Build 1. Alright, the AI always takes the first turn. Actually, I gotta put these 2 Marvel Champions dials away, so bear with me just a second. Opening closet door. Closing closet door. And before we start, I'm actually going to take my map books out I'm going to take my map books for my RPGs out into the main table, because I'm going to inventory them and see what all I have in my library. So I'll be right back before we get started. One thing I want to try to do over the course of the day is I want to inventory my map book library, see if there's anything I have a pressing need to add in terms of my RPG book library, especially or my RPG, not my RPG book library. A category of my book library, but more of my map books, with some changes that I'm getting ready to make to Quest Log, which I'll have more on that during Piano with Phoenix at the end of the month. I want to make sure my map inventory is also up to speed. So with that being said, let's jump into this game. The Automa will always start off by taking the first turn, and they've actually got the Planeteers deck that they're using. And the section that we're interested in here is at the bottom. So they go for a Discovery and Contract 6. Now, since they haven't moved yet, I've actually got to refresh my memory on how the competition does their actions. So if they're looking for a Discovery, what do they do with that? Conductor, if there's at least one empty box on the site. There is not. So they're going to start making progress toward Contract 6. We'll put a team up there. Since that's all they can do, they place a competition team there, so that's the one they're working on. Now, for us, I think I am going to take a research action to get some more cards. I will take the cargo pod. You can always take from either the offers that are out or a card from the deck in some combination per point of research that you have. On my research infra, I've got research 2 that I'm using. So I think we're going to go for the cargo pod for 1, and I'll draw for 2. Okay, that's another chemical drive. And then coming out as a new offer, we will find another cargo pod. All right, so now the Automa is going to make their move. They're going to either, I believe when it's got a slash like that, it's either solo Lagrange point 2, conduct the site action at the listed site that has a competition. That is a competition team. If neither site has one, conduct the site action at the site without a base, or the first listed site if both are without a base. So we're looking at solar Lagrange point 2, so they're putting a competition team out there. Now, for me, I'm actually going to use my 2 chemical drive. Actually, I should have drawn a card as well, since I have under 7 cards in hand, right? Just double checking that, but I'm pretty sure at the end, if I have 4 or fewer cards, okay, so I did have 4 cards in hand. I've got another chemical drive coming out. So let's see, what do I want to do here? I'm actually going to go ahead and use the 1 on my infra and one more chemical drive. I'll move up to lunar Lagrange point 4. So I'll do that. We'll draw a card. That's a move or explore that I'm drawing into my hand. Now looking at the competition, they are taking offers 2 and 4 off the board. Offers, yes. An indication in which era cards are to be discarded from the offers. They're taking 2 and 4. What's the... Okay, some offer actions show the symbol for the current era instead of action or edge icons. For each upgrade card discarded, fortunately they're not discarding any. And then we're putting out another chemical drive and another cargo pod. So that's it for their action. As for mine, I could use a build action there to build a... I could use a build action out there to build a spaceport, but building a spaceport out to lunar Lagrange point 4 doesn't seem that useful. I would need 2, 3 to get out to solar Lagrange point 2. So I think we are going to go ahead and use two of our chemical drives to send a team out to Solar Lagrange point 4. That's got a build of 4. So let me draw a card. Okay, I don't hate that. I like the idea of a spaceport a lot better. As for the Automa, or for the competition, they're trying to go to Luna, which they can get up there with no problem whatsoever. As for me, I think I will go ahead and use the 2 cargo pods that are going to give me a build 2, because I am on Solar Lagrange point 4. I am going to build a spaceport up on Solar Lagrange point 4. And then with a spaceport there, okay, conduct an action, which we did that. Fulfill contracts, which we can't. Transport team, we can relocate one of our teams that didn't perform an action to one of our bases. From one of our bases to another base, if at least one of those is a spaceport, and I'm going to leave that team there, actually. And then I'll draw a card. Okay, that's another build. I might have to take another research action. But let's see what the Automa is up to. They're going to Solar Lagrange point 4, which we just built a base on, so they can't do that. Lunar Lagrange point 5, that they can do. So that's where they're at. As for us, I think I'm going to take a research action here, because I want to get some more cards in my hand. Let's go for... Actually, now we're starting to get past the start cards, so I think we're going to go for a chemical drive for 1 and draw for 2. That's another core driller, which gives me a produce 1 or explore 2. And coming out, we've got the near space probe, which either gives us a move 2 or place a discovery tile on an empty site, gaining any immediate rewards. I might want to try to get my hands on that. As for the competition, they're trying to go to Solar Lagrange point 4 or 5. They can't go to 4 because we built a base there already, but they will send a team to 5. Let's see, I think I will take another research action. So I'm going to grab the near space probe and draw a card. It's a heavy lifter, which gives me a move 2 or build 2. Then we'll replace that with another near space probe. As for the Automa of the competition, they're taking offers 1, 3, and 4 off the table. So 1, 3, and 4, which are all start offers, so I don't mind that at all. Then we've got a survey pod that can be upgraded as info with Explore 1. Intercept as a move 3, or play at the beginning of your turn to take 2 turns in a row. And salvage, produce 1, or play at the beginning of your turn, gain a profit, then take all start cards from the offers. Now, when the Automa plays a competition, plays offers during the competition offers action, the competition takes another turn from intercept coming out, and salvage gains a profit, then discard all start cards from the offers. Their main color is yellow, so they're going to gain a profit, and there are no start cards in the offers, so they do get another turn here. The turn for the Automa is Lunar Lagrange point 4, which I'm at, so they're going to put a team out there. I might actually want to try to build something there. The question is, what would I want to build there? And that's a build 1. Do I have a build 2 in my hand, which would actually be a little bit of a waste. But I think we're actually going to use, let's see, it would be 1, 2 to get out to Halley's Comet from Lagrange point 4. So I think that is what we're going to do. I'm going, well, actually I can save that for later. So I'm going to, actually I would need a build 4, and I do have build 4 if I want to go out to Halley's Comet, which I think I will. So I'm actually going to use a near space probe for the effect of place a discovery tile on an empty site, gain any immediate rewards. I'm going to put a tile out on, am I going to put it on Halley's Comet, or do I want to put it somewhere else? Yeah, let's put it on Halley's Comet. So what we're going to put out there is exotic elements, which gives us a profit and a produce action, so we could produce out there. But we need to get a base there first. That'll give us a profit. As for the competition, and just double checking that, yeah, we can't draw a card. So the competition is taking offers 1, 2, and 4 off the table. And then they're putting out another core driller, produce 1 or explore 2, construction rover to build 2 or explore 2, and a reusable solid nuclear drive as a move 3. Now that might be tempting as a potential infra card. So I could take a research action if I want to grab it, and I think I do actually. So we're going to go 1, and we're going to go 2 to grab the intercept. Then we'll put out a poach, explore 2, or as an edge at the end of an opponent's turn, take all cards they discarded into your hand. And a build module, which is a build 1 that can be used as infra. Now moving over to the Automa, or the competition, they're trying to put a team on Halley's Comet. I think they can do that. Yeah, they'll put a competition team out there, but we're going to need a build 4, and that might very well be my next order of business, to put a base out there. And I think it will be. So I think we are going to go ahead and use the heavy lifter and processors as a build 4 to build a base out on Halley's Comet. The only question is, what base do I want to build there? So we can't build an attraction, we can't build a biolab there. We could build production. We could build an industrial base there, but there's no point to that since that's the only region in the base. We could do a refinery there. Research base is also an option. SpaceCorp isn't an option because that's not a Lagrange point. So it's either a research base. So it's actually a research base or a refinery base. Actually, research, refinery, or industrial. I think I want a research base there, which will also kick the competition team off. And the research base will let me take a card. I think I will grab the construction rover. Yes. Then we'll put a new card out. That's a solid nuclear drive. Move 2 or explore 1 that we can upgrade as infra. That might also be tempting to grab. As for the competition, they're going to North Mars, which they can get all the way up to North Mars. Let's see. I think I'm going to play an intercept for an edge at the beginning of my turn to take 2 turns in a row. So I'll start off with playing my reusable solid nuclear drive as infra. So that'll be my action for the turn. I'm at 4 cards, so I get to draw 1. Excavators, which gives me an explore 1 or build 2. And then I'm going to research. I'll grab the solid nuclear drive for 1 and draw for 2. Another build module that I can use as infra. There's another reusable solid nuclear drive. So we could definitely get set up for a lot of movement coming up. As for the competition, they are taking offers 1, 2, and 4 off the table. So unfortunately, that reusable solid nuclear drive is going away. Let's see if we can get something else. Processors, produce 1 or build 2. Sabotage, which is build 3 or an edge, but the edge is going to work differently than a solid, and we've got a solid nuclear drive. So the edge on the poach when it comes out, choose and discard half the cards in your hand, rounded down. Ouch. Let's see, so I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, rounded down, so I've got to discard 3 cards. I definitely want to keep that. That's the solid nuclear drive. I want to keep the excavators and the construction site because I need those for building and exploring. And I'll keep the core driller. I'll discard everything else. Alright, back to my turn. I think I'm going to play the solid nuclear drive out as infra. So that'll give me move 2 or explore 1. Then I'll draw from my deck. I'll probably be taking a research to try to grab that solid nuclear drive next, but let's see if the competition is even going to let me. Lunar Lagrange point 4, which they are actually going to build a base that'll kick that team off. Question is, where do they go when they get kicked off? So when... Alright, competition team present... Alright, so they are building the green site, remove the team and place a competition base. I think we just stay there, don't we? I think our team just... The removed team is on the site's discovery tile. What happens to our base? Or what happens to our team when they place a base? Doesn't really explain that, but they will place a base on Lunar Lagrange point 4. That's a spaceport, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a matching base for them. So the team gets removed, and if the site is a Lagrange point, if the competition is at least one other base, they don't. We've actually built 2 bases. But yeah, I'm not seeing an explanation on what happens when we have a team there and they build a base. Let's see. If no site... Charges 2 action sites, offers action... It's still not explaining what happens if they build a base when we have a team present. Yeah, it's not explaining it in here. I think that might be a question for the multiplayer game. Let's see if there's something in there that explains it. Let's see, using teams. Maybe in... What about in the build? If you build a team with a competition site... Okay, so that's the only thing I see there. If the removed team was on the site's discovery tile... I'm having problems speaking English today. Maybe it'll explain it in here. Building modifiers, that's not what I want. Our discovery team is currently claimed by a... Yeah, I think the team just stays there ultimately, unless... Although it specifies that the Although it does specify that the remove team, that if you build a base at a site with a competition team, remove the team. So it's not necessarily explaining that. Maybe on the... Alright, looks like that's during Starfares where that happens. If you're the competition, already have a base there. Okay, still not explaining that, so I'm just going to assume that that our team stays there. So fortunately for us, they didn't have another base out, so they don't get the first beyond marker. So our turn, I think we are going to take a research action so I can make sure we grab the solid nuclear drive, and we'll draw from the top of the deck, get another heavy lifter. Pulling a genome accelerator, we might want to try to grab that as well, especially so I can try to get some genetics going. As for the competition, they're taking offers 2 and 3 off the board, which I don't mind because that leaves the genome accelerator on the board. Another genome accelerator and excavators. Well, that makes my action real easy. I'm going to take a research action here and grab those 2 genome accelerators. Another heavy lifter and a hack. So at the start of an opponent's turn, I can take 1 card from the offers. Fortunately, that's not coming out during their action. What would that do? Discard all research cards from your hand and offer boxes. Ouch. Good thing, real good thing that didn't come out during their turn. They are actually at North Mars already, so they're going to build a... So they are going to build a base there, because actually, competition team is present. It's got an Explore box, so they're going to draw a... So they are going to draw an Explore tile. That's an E2. Putting out exotic elements, which will give them 2 profit. So they're up to 3 profit to my 1. Then the team gets removed and they build a base there. Next question is, do they only... Alright, so they've got a shield factory, which actually they can't use yet. A biolab, that can go up there. So they get the 2 profit. Do they only fulfill... that's actually a contract on... That's actually a first base on Mars, so they will get the 3 profit to 3 from that as well. Yowza. Alright, well... I think in that case we're going to go ahead and play the genome accelerators to give me 2 genetics. So that'll advance my genetics wheel along 2 spaces, and that'll give me 2 profit. Fortunately, I also can't draw cards because I have 6 cards in hand already. Let's see what they're doing. Next, offers 1 and 3 are coming out, so we're cycling through this deck fairly quickly. Excuse me. Replacing it with another heavy lifter and a survey pod. Alright, for my turn, I'm actually going to play out another solid nuclear drive as infra. So that gives me another move 2 or explore 1. That will also give me cards in 3 infra slots, so I do get the profit from that. Which means now I've got all kinds of movement I can play with. Now for the Automa, the competition, they're trying to go to Phobos, which they can get to. So they put a team up there. As for me, with a base movement of 7, I think we are going to go, let's see, we can go 3-4 to go to South Mars. Actually, that would be... Actually, if we send this team, it would be 1-4-5, which we can still do easily, which we will do. So we'll send them to South Mars. I do need a build of 6, though, which I've got build 6. I do need to explore up there first. Fortunately, I've got explore in my infra already that I can use. As for them, they're going to North Mars, but they've already got a base there, so they're not doing anything there. Solar Lagrange point 5. They're building another base out on Lagrange point 5. They're putting a refinery there, and the only way I think that's a matching base for them is if I'm the Pope. Let's see, refinery, yeah, no. It's not a matching base for them. Okay, so at least we get a break there. As for me, I am going to go ahead and use the 2 solid nuclear drives for an Explorer 2 on South Mars. So that gives us a discovery tile here, so let's see what we find here. We find water. That's a profit for us, and base costs -1. So base now only costs 5 to build there. So that does give us 1 profit. As for the competition, they're taking offers 1, 2, and 3 off the table. So my deck is, so the Mariner's deck, which I'm drawing from, is actually starting to get a little low. Survey module coming out, explore 1 or build 1. Heavy lifter, move to build 2. And processors to produce 1 or build 1. Let's see. I think we can go ahead and... we could definitely get to Sisyphus out here, but I want to make sure I've got more build cards if I think I'm going to be starting to build bases. Let's see. I could build an industrial base there because I've got water. Well, it is a water base. That would let me double my build total elsewhere in the region. Probably not that useful right now, especially since this deck is about to be empty, and I believe that's one of the trigger conditions for. That's one of the trigger conditions to end the era. So now I want to be able to build. I want to be able to build at least 2 more bases if I can before we trigger the end of the era. So let's see. What would I need? I would need build. I would need build 9 right now if I want to try to go to Sisyphus and build a base there. Right now I've got build 2, 4, 5, 7 in hand. So I think I will use free move. Actually, I also need 3 more turns if I want to build bases there in those 2 places. So well, if I use my infra to move out, I'll need my infra to move and explore. Fortunately, I can use that without having to draw additional cards. So I think we are going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to move this team over to Sisyphus. As for the competition, Solar Lagrange point 1, which they can get to, that's back here. So that'll work there. My next turn, I'm going to go ahead and use an explore action here to put another discovery tile down. Let's see what we're putting down this time. A natural wonder, which gives me 2 profit. So now I've got a couple of options for building bases. So that's 2 more profit, bringing me up to 8 profit. Let's see, with profit, tile gains produce 1, so that's an option. But let's see what the Autumn is going to let us, what the Autumn is doing here first. Trying to go to Solar Lagrange point 2 or South Mars, which they can go to Solar Lagrange point 2. They're actually building a base there. That's a secure, which I think is supposed to be... yeah, that's actually not supposed to be in yet either. There were some of these bases that were supposed to be put aside. I made the decision when I was setting up last night, just leave everything in the competition's draw cup and separate it to the side if they came out. A refinery can go there, and I think we established that a refinery is not a match to a solar Lagrange point. So the team does get removed. Right. Just checking something here. Hold on. All right, back to my turn. Let's see. What do I want to do up there? Well, what are my base options right now? I need a build of 4 down here on this on Sisyphus to build a base there. I could build an attraction there, which would actually, I do have a produce action available up here already as well. Let's see. So if I use the construction rover and the excavators, I still have a build 3. I can take a research action if I need to get one more build card. So I think I will go ahead and use the construction rover and the excavators for a build 4, which will let me build a base out here, and I will make that an attraction. So now that'll give that natural wonder a profit 1. Drawing a card. That's a survey module for an Explore 1 or Build 1. As for the Automa, they're trying to go to Solar Lagrange Point 2 or South Mars. So they actually are sending a team to South Mars. Let's see. So 6 or more contracts have been fulfilled, but we've only fulfilled 3. So the era does not immediately end. Well, the draw pile is about to be empty. Problem is, I'm 1 build point short of being able to build out here now. So that's... I take 1 more turn without an intervening competition turn. Okay. So... let's see. So what do I want to do here? I could take a research action right here. That would get me, well, that would get me the build I need. That would give me the build I need if I want to build something on South Mars. Problem is, I don't think there's much of a point to building anything here that doesn't really let me do anything in terms of any kind of production unless I want to plus everything's going to end up getting discarded when everything else is going to get discarded when we try to build or when we move into the next era. So there's really no point in trying to build a base right now. So I think instead I'm going to take a production action from one of my bases. Doesn't really matter which one because either one's going to give me a profit, but it will also give me the first produce action, so I'll gain 2 credits, but that will also empty out the draw pile, and it'll give me 1 more turn, which is another solid nuclear drive. The question here, actually, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my native movement in my infra in my last turn to send a team up to the asteroid belt. That will give me the first beyond marker, and that will end the era. So the competition, so we've set up for continuing play. We've got the competition production bonus, gains X profit, where it's equal to the competition base discovery pair with the highest current production value, which they will gain 1 profit from having the exotic elements. So right now we're at 11 to their 7 for profit. Has a production value and is accompanied by a base. I'm going to keep the exotic elements that we just used to produce as legacy production. Then cards that are on our infra stay are removed from play everything else. I'm actually going to see if I can separate these into the start cards and the non-start cards now, so I don't have to worry about that later. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should be 2 more, I think. They're not in my infra, but I would swear there should be 2 more start cards. 11, 12. There we are. All right, so everything else is going to go away. All right, return my teams and bases to the holding box on my HQ. So we'll pull these. Don't even think about it. So we'll pull those teams back. Not talking to any of you guys, by the way. That's me cussing at that cube to not go anywhere. Okay, set aside competition teams and bases. We'll put everything else so the spaceport comes back. These all go back in the cup. All of the other discovery teams are going to go back in the box, or all of the other discoveries that weren't discovered or that were and are coming off the board are going back to the box. Okay, nothing going on there. I'm keeping an eye on communications with my group. I think, yeah, one of these smaller pill bags that I got when I got this copy of SpaceCorp. Actually, I think I got these from another game and I repurposed them for SpaceCorp because they work so well. I will need that. Planeteers. Okay. Business display stays put. We don't have any competition teams on the display because I discovered the one contract they'd started making progress on. Okay. So we replace the current board with the next board. Actually, I think now's the point where I'm going to put the stream on Be Right Back. But you'll probably hear me muttering a little bit as I work on setup, but I will be around to interact with chat if anybody wants to strike up any brilliant conversations. So I will be right back. Alright, that's going to have to get zoomed out. You're going to get flipped into being the progress board. Your Planeteers. Okay. Let's see, I should have 6 E1s, which I do. Two, four, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 E2s. I'll make 2 stacks of 7 with those. And the 2, 4, 6, 8 E3s. All right. 12 competition teams, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Go to the competition team box. Mine go at the inner solar system. But I think I get something special because I had the first Beyond marker. Yep, I get to set up one of my 2 teams at Ceres. So all the way up here. I also get an E1 Discovery tile, which I will put there. We'll reveal that when we come back. Competition bases. Now the Shield Factory and Secure. Secure, Shield Factory, and Exploiter. Those can go back in. Those are now eligible to drawn. Okay, grab the Planeteers deck, which is what they were using. We'll separate the start cards out for that. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I get 2 as a starting hand. Right, that's the Mariners deck. That can go back to the box. Right, I think this is the rest of the Planeteers deck. Yes. Alright, we can do that. And then these are the rest of the start cards. Those go on top. Except 4 are going to wait. Yeah, 4 for this are going to end up as offers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also will be revealed when we come back. And the Starfarers deck is the competitions deck. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are going to be going on top of the deck. We'll shuffle these in. In case you're just tuning in, I am around interacting with chat, or to interact with chat, but the muttering you're hearing is my setting up the Planeteers era to continue this game of SpaceCorp, which I actually really enjoy, and surprisingly, it helped me with learning Mage Knight a little bit a couple of weeks ago. All right, we will put that down here. I'll put the 6 cards on top of that were put aside. We've got the offers ready. Now we need to get the progress cards. Which, that's the Mariners deck. That's not what I want. But I did feel another stack. I think this, yeah. Alright. Let's see here. Let's see if we got all of the Planeteers. Is one of these actually isn't used during the game, so okay. Looks like I had that separated out already. Looks like I had that one upgrade that isn't used separated out already. At least I thought I did. I must have put that one somewhere else. Oh, here it is. Never mind. I did have track of it. So it was sorted out as among the cards I don't use. Okay. Yep. All right. So after the muttering you were hearing, we are back, and we've got a few things to reveal before the competition takes their first turn. So first we're going to reveal the starting offers for the Planeteers era, where I think we're going to call it after we get through this era. So our first offer is Grown Mesh, build 2 or shielded 1. This is important because now we have to start worrying about radiation once we get out of the asteroid belt. So if something isn't shielded, we will lose 2 profit, probably from the cost of having to shield anything that we're doing. Next card up is survey drones, which offer Explore 2. They can be used as infra. Next up his engineers, which give me Explore 2 or Build 3. And finally, Science Booster, which is a Move 4 or Explore 1. Now, because I had the first Beyond marker, that'll go to the Oort Cloud. Because I had the first Beyond marker from the Mariners era, I get to start one of my teams on Ceres. It's probably going to be a little bit hard to see everything here. Looks like you probably can just barely see the purple mark on the purple block on Ceres. But the discovery we get here is Abundant Ore, so that's a Produce 2. As for my hand, okay, I do have a Grown Mesh and I've got Engineers. What's the build cost here? A Build 3, so actually that could let us start setting things up rather nicely here if I want to start getting some bases going right away. That could be tempting on... although I'd be starting to burn through move cards like crazy. But I'm going to bring the competition deck over to the side, where I like to keep it. The competition will get to take the first turn. Offers 3 and 4 are coming off the board. And there's an icon next to that, so they get a specific action from the offers. I'm trying to remember what that icon is. The competition loses a profit for each genetics card discarded, but gains a profit for each revelation card discarded, neither of which are true. So coming out first, we've got a closed gas core nuclear booster, which is a move 4, can be upgraded as infra, and another Grown Mesh. I actually might want that closed gas core nuclear booster, so I think I'm going to use a Build 3 on my Engineers to build a research base on Ceres, and I will grab that because that's what that lets me do with a research base. Actually, do I want a research base or do I want a spaceport? I think I want the research there because my teams are probably going to start sailing quickly. So we'll replace the offers with another closed gas core nuclear booster, and then I'll draw a card, which is a Science Booster. I'm not necessarily as interested in the Move 4, but I am definitely interested in the Explore 1, although I've got a lot of Explore native in my infra. As for the competition, they're working on 2 discoveries and contract 6. I think Discovery, if I remember correctly, Discoveries, there's an empty Explorer at a site occupied by a construction team, or by a competition team, so no. But they will put a team on contract 6, which is the cards in non-Stark Planeteer cards in 3 infra slots. What do we want to do here? Actually, our move is pretty much fine right now. I don't need to supercharge that yet. What I will do, though, is I actually will go ahead and move my other team up to... let's move up to Vesta. We'll see if we can chart the inner solar system quickly, but I will draw a card since I only have 3 in hand. Okay, this is actually very helpful. A closed gas core nuclear drive, which gives me either a Move 3 or a shielded Move 2. And an important thing to know is in all of the move cards you play, so if I was to play, say, actually, which I could potentially do here, but I definitely want... So if I were to play all of these cards, I could either get an unshielded Move 11 or a shielded Move 10 if I use this card as my shielded move. But I think the only place that's going to be landing is in my infra, as I'm sure will surprise exactly nobody who's ever played this game. So that was a huge pickup on that draw. Offers 1 and 4 are coming off the table, so I'm losing the shielded... I'm losing 2 build 2s or shielded build 1. Same rule applies to building. Research 2 or genetics 1, and another closed gas core nuclear drive. Okay. that actually kind of opens up my options a little bit. Actually, that opens up my options a lot bit. Which I think I will take a research action. So I've got a research 2. I'll grab the genome accelerator. And I will take, actually, I think I want the closed gas core nuclear drive. And the reason I want this card as well is because the contract specifies non-start Planeteer cards in 3 infra slots. So I'll show you what I'll show you what's going on. The way you can tell a start card is if it's got start in the lower right corner. This one's got it so it wouldn't count for that contract. This one doesn't, so it would count. Then replacing that, we've got a nuclear mass driver, which is a move 5 or build 3, and a 0G factory, which is a build 4 or produce 1. Competition is trying to go to series, but we've got a base there already, so they can't. They're going to Palace, which is actually right here. As for my turn, I think I will... Decisions. Well, let's go ahead... And I'm going to actually play out the closed gas core nuclear drive that's not a starter in my infra. I'll play that over top of the reusable solid nuclear drive. So now natively in my infra, I've got unshielded move 7 or shielded move 6. That is actually massive right now. Especially as I start accumulating more move, because I have a feeling my next move is going to be to pick up an adaptation that's going to give me even more move. And then we will draw... Actually, no, we won't draw a card because we've got 5 in hand already. As for the competition, they're going to Ganymede, which is all the way up here in Jupiter, which actually helps us out a little bit because we have to get beyond Jupiter. And actually, once we get beyond the asteroid belt, radiation starts to become a problem. So we're going to actually play the genome accelerator here. I'm going to use that for genetics 1, which will advance my adaptation marker over to the top, and now I can pick one of the adaptations. I can either grab low body mass, which gives my move actions move 5, energy efficient, so my build actions gain build 3, or sensory focus. Whenever I would draw an E3 or primary discovery tile, I draw 2 instead. Choose 1 to implement and put the other back on top of its draw pile. I can't grab radiation resistant yet, but that's next on my list. My move and build actions would be shielded from radiation. I'm actually going to grab low body mass to give me move 5, and that'll advance my profit 1. As for the competition, they are going ASF, so that's adaptation sensory focus is the one they're taking off the board, and offers 2 and 3 are coming off the board. I gotta check that symbol as well. Remove the indicated card only if the competition has already completed the card's prerequisite. So there is no prerequisite on sensory focus. Do they get the profit from that is my next question. I don't think so, but I'm not... Oh, is it marked with an asterisk? No, it's not. Alright, so... If both named progress cards, award that profit from the competition. Okay. To the competition. So they get the 1 profit from removing sensory focus. And offers 2 and 3 are coming off the table. That trigger competition profit if that action or edge is on a discarded card. So they're discarding offers 2 and 3. The symbol is for if production is coming off the table. Fortunately, neither one is production. We've got a fusion drive, which is move 8 or explore 3. and a clone forge, which is produce 1 or genetics 1. Okay, so I think we're going to go, I think on our turn, we are going to go ahead and explore here on Vesta with a native Explorer 2. So we'll get another E1 discovery here. We'll find exotic elements, which gives me a profit and a produce 1. And then I will draw up. Okay, move. Ooh, that's actually a straight upgrade on my solid nuclear drive. Survey drones, move 4 or explore 2, which I can use as infra. As for the competition, they are looking at getting energy efficient, which they can get, and offers 2 and 4 are coming off the table, which one of those is a production, so they're actually going to get a total of 2 profit. 1 for removing the energy efficient with the profit, and a second because they're taking 1 build action off the table. Putting out another nuclear mass driver and a 0G factory. I think I'm actually going to take a research action here because I want to get the clone forge for genetics, and we'll draw a card. Ooh, an open gas core nuclear drive. That's a move 6 that I can upgrade as infra. Then we'll put out another offer, explore 3 or produce 1. Then they are trying to go to Umbriel or Oberon, both of which are moons of Uranus. So they will go out to Umbriel. So I'll get a competition team there. As for me, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my one of my solid nuclear drives with survey drones. So now I've got native. So now in my infra, I've got unshielded move 9 or shielded move 8. To say nothing of explore 2. Which means I can also return this solid nuclear drive to the Mariners deck. And I want to make sure it's somewhere after the start cards for the Mariners deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't get to draw another card. They're going to Rhea next. That's a moon of Saturn. I think we're going to go ahead and go to... Actually, I like the Explore 3, so let's... There isn't a card out there that I want right now. What I want, though, is a drink right now, so bear with me while I grab a drink of my Crystal Light. Much better. Let's see. What do I want to do right now? I think we should probably actually start moving out into the galaxy a little further. Fortunately, I've got shield that I can use, but what I need to get is build cards. If I could find some shielded build, that would be awesome. Let's see. What would I need to get out to a moon on Jupiter right now? 1, 2? Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Actually, we'll send this team out to Europa. Since it doesn't have a gravity penalty, I'll use the closed gas core nuclear drive in my infra as a shielded move. That way I don't take a radiation penalty. As for the Automa, they're trying to go to Interamnia. That is right where we were. I'll start off with an Explore. Then my turn will be an Explore 3 out here on Europa, and the tile we'll put out here. Abundant ores and water. So 1 profit produced 2, base minus 2. So now a base out here would only cost me 2 to build, but that would get washed out by the losing 2 profit. So I do get 1 profit. And the reason I lose 2 profit is because I'm not taking a shielded build, which part of me wants to start going through the deck to try to find a shielded build. Alright, they're looking for breakthrough quantum mechanics, which they can take that. So they will get 2 profit. And if the matching icon there is for which action? That's for special cards or edge, which they would gain profit if those icons trigger competition, profit if that action or edge is on a discarded card. They're looking at offers 1 and 3, neither of which have any special or edge. So replacing those will be a competitor's build 4, but they will trigger an edge and a sabotage. Seriously? Let's see, competitors, I just lose 2 profit. That sucks. And on sabotage, choose one of my teams at a site without a base. If any, relocate it to a site with a base. Gross. So now we got to move that team to Ceres. Disgusting. Alright, well, in that case, Gross, gross, gross. Alrighty then. In that case, I think we will use our native shielded move. I think I'm going to start working on Saturn. So to get to the Saturn moons, so if I want to move out towards Saturn, I wouldn't, I still want to try to build on Europa, but I need to find shielded builds so I can do that safely. Actually, right now I need more build period. So I could take a research action if I want to try to build there, because I do have a shielded build 1 that I could use as a one-time. So I think we are going to actually head back to Europa using a shielded move. So I'm going to have to plan on using a research action on my next turn to get a little more build in my hand. They're trying to go to Hygeia or Vesta. Hygeia is actually right here at the asteroid belt. So I am going to use research to get some more build in hand. Let's go. Let's go 1, 2. That'll put 2 new cards out. Survey Cyborgs. I may try to grab that for the genetics. Clone Forge. I think I want that for the genetics as well. Good thing there's no hand limit in this game. So I might have to take another research action to grab those. Hygeia or Enceladus. So they're actually going to build a place of discovery and build a base on Pallas. So they get a profit and a base costs 1 less to build, which will actually give them the lead. And they're going to build a base out on Pallas. That's a spaceport, which I'm almost certain is going to be a matching base in Planeteers. I think Planeteers, the requirement is no gravity penalty. The competition has at least 2 other bases, and they don't. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and take research. Yeah, we are going to take research here. Actually, is there a hand limit? No actual limit to... I would not be able to research again on my next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I actually can't take a research action right now. I might as well go ahead and build a base there. So I think we're going to go... Well, actually, do I want to build a base there? I think I do. So we need what is that? Shielded build. So we would need a build of 2. I don't really want to lose profit right now, so I'm going to have to waste one of my big builds. I'm going to keep the 0G factory in hand so I can use a produce later. But I'm going to use grown mesh and competitors for a shielded build 5. And I'm going to build a base on Europa. This is mostly so I can take research next turn. And I'm going to build... What am I going to build here? I'm actually going to build an industrial base there so I can double my build values later. So that card is gone as well. As for the competition, they're going all the way to Pluto. Yowza. Alright, now I can take the research action that I wanted to earlier. So now we are going to go 1, 2. And we'll replace those with Explore 2 or Build 3 that can be upgraded as Infra. And Survey Drones Move 4 or Explore 2 that I can use as Infra. As for the competition, they're going to Ganymede, which they actually have a team there already, so they'll get an E3 exploration. Exomicrobes and exotic elements. They get 2 profit. They get 2 profit from that. That's all they get. But they will get a base there. 1, 2. There's a shield factory. Let's see, shield factory. Does the discovery tile have water on it? I thought I saw... Oh no, it doesn't have water on it, so they don't get the match bonus, which would have been gaining 1 profit unless I have radiation resistant and or both a shielded move and a shielded build. Neither of which I have, so that's actually a little bit of a break for us for now. But I am going to use the 3... I'm going to use the 3 genetics cards I've been accumulating for genetics. 1, 2, 3. And now that will let me grab radiation resistant because I have low body mass movement. So now my move and build actions are shielded from radiation. That'll give me a profit. So now I just have to worry about chasing build numbers because everything is now shielded. As for the competition, they're trying to go to Callisto, which they can get to. Alrighty then. Let's see, and actually they got the 2 progress cards first. Actually, I don't think I've ever established if they gain contracts the same way. I think they only... Oh yeah, competition. Okay, so they did claim 2 progress cards first, so they'll get 3 profit from that. Let's see, 4 asteroid bases, 3 bases in regions beyond Jupiter, 2 beyond Uranus, 3 bases in 1 region. Non-start Planeteer cards in 3 infra slots, which I don't have yet. 4 bases on sites containing water or life, which we have 1 to their 1. Okay, so now that everything is... now that all of my move and builds are shielded, I don't have to worry about that anymore. So if I want 3 bases in 1 region... like I said, now I need to start chasing numbers. Now I just need to start chasing build numbers. So... let's... What to do? I think we're actually going to use some of our native move. Plus we've got move 5 from our low body mass. So we've actually got a lot of move right now, and everything being shielded. I just need to worry about numbers now. So we've got native shielded move 14 in our infra. So I think we're going to use that to bring a team over to... I think we're going to bring a team over to Titan. And the competition is trying to go to Vesta or Interamnia. They've got a... Let's see, Vesta is right here where they don't have a team, so they're going to send a team there. Alright, then for my turn, I'm going to use my Native Explore 3 to explore here on Titan. So let's see what I get on Titan. Oceans, 2 profit. Ooh, actually that's very helpful because that makes base cost 3. So I get 2 profit. I get 2 profit from that. I can produce 1, and that makes bases cheaper. So base 3, which means I need to go get some base numbers. I've got base 4 in hand. I might actually want micro mesh now, especially now that my builds are shielded. They're trying to go to Titan, which they can get there. Alright. And I think I will. I can't build a spaceport there because it does have a... I can't build a spaceport there because there is a gravity penalty going to Titan. But I could put a research base there potentially. Let's see, that was a 2 region, so I think we are going to go ahead and use the 0G factory to build a base. What base do I want there? I could put water there. Or do I want a research base there? Let's see, bases in 3 regions beyond Jupiter. Good question. What do I want there? Do I think I'm going to try to chase building there? I think I am, actually. So we're going to put down... So we are going to put down an industrial base on Titan. We'll kick the team off there. So now anytime I build a base out here in Saturn, I can actually double my build value when I'm there. Actually, do I get to draw a card first before I flip over? Yes, I do get to draw a card. That's an Explore 3, or at the end of an opponent's turn, take all cards they discard into your hand, but I think that edge works differently in the solo mode. Draw the top 2 non-edge cards of my discard pile at the end of a competition offers action. Okay. Let's see, Breakthrough, looking at energy fields and offers 1 and 2, looking for special and edge cards. That actually kind of sucks because that's going to send the micromanagement away. So they get the breakthrough on energy fields, gaining 2 profit, and offers 1 and 2. So I was kind of eyeing that micro mesh. I should have grabbed it in hindsight. We've got Mobile Labs giving Research 2 or Explore 2, and Antimatter Prototype, which is a build 5, or relocate one of my teams currently at the inner solar system to any site. That's actually an offers action, though, so I actually can play my poach to take the top two non-edge cards of my discard pile. So that'll give me the micro mesh and the nuclear mass driver. So we actually got the card we wanted anyway. And I think that is going to land in the... I think that's actually going to land in our infra right here. So we're going to replace the solid nuclear drive with the micro mesh. I needed to get some build into my infra. So that was actually a very helpful play there. Okay, that's the Mariners, so that goes there. And that also gives me 3 non-start Planeteer cards in 3 infra slots. So I'll get the 2 profit from fulfilling that contract. 1, 2. I've got to try to catch up here somehow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. As for the competition, so my infra is actually pretty well set at this point. They're trying to go to Europa. We've got a base there, so they can't. Taking adaptation on low body mass, and offers 1 and 4 are coming out. So they remove the adaptation. They don't get the profit because I grabbed that one first. Offers 1 and 4. They were looking for special or edge cards. Neither one of these have them. So we're replacing that with a 0G factory and a hack. Hack, I believe, was discard all research cards from your hand and offer boxes and replenish. Fortunately, I don't have any research cards, so hack goes away. And we replenish with extruders, which is a build 3 or shielded build 2. Which I would have cared about that earlier in this era, but now that I have radiation resistant, I don't. So over to my turn. Let's see what I want to do here. Okay, let's go. Let's actually bring our team from Europa. Where do I want to send them? We built industrial bases both in Jupiter and around Saturn. So that might not have been the brightest idea that we ever had. So I think we're going to send this team up here to Enceladus. We can start hopefully chasing bases on Saturn next. They're looking for radiation resistant, which they have removed enough cards from that. They have removed enough cards to match that. And they're looking at research for profit, but they won't get that because neither one of these is a research. But they are putting out another closed gas core nuclear drive and a deep space probe. We are going to go ahead and explore out here in Enceladus. I can never pronounce that for some reason. So the discovery that we're putting out here is exotic elements. We get 2 profit. It produces 2 profit, but base costs 2 more. So that's a base cost of 7. Fortunately, we've got 3 native in. We've actually got 6 total to work with because of the industrial base on Titan. All right, we get 2 profit. And then for the competition, they are trying to go to Vesta, which they are, actually they have a team there, so they just get a base. They're putting an industrial base there, which I don't think in Planeteers is a matching base for them. Let's see, so what did we say? Industrial discovery tile has water or profit. Actually, it does. Place a competition team at an unoccupied site in the same region, which they can't do because they already have one there. If not possible, the competition gains a profit. So they're up to 21 profit. Let's see, with a build 5, that just went up to 7. And I think I'm going to have to use my nuclear mass driver to give me enough build to build a base down here. Is there something I can build with... Let's see. I can't build an attraction there. I can't build a biolab. I don't think I can build an exploiter there. I can. So when it's built, I can gain profit equal to the discovery's profit number plus its colony bonus, and then forfeit that bonus for the rest of the game. Which I think that was an E2, so I would gain 4 profit from that. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to build an exploiter. We're going to build our exploiter there to gain 4 profit. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have how many cards in hand? 4, so we'll draw back up. Okay, I might want to use this card next. I just drew a very powerful edge card. I just drew intercept that I can use, take another turn after it. Okay, yeah, we'll probably be using that. Competition is trying to go to Hygeia. They're just building they're getting their discovery, and they're building a base. So they're getting water, which is another profit, which brings them up to 22 profit to my 23. And then they're building a base. They're building a spaceport, which I'm almost certain. Yeah, there's no gravity penalty there for the spaceport. Do they have at least 2 other bases? They do, so they actually get the first beyond marker. That's unfortunate, but no help for that at this point. Let's see, back to our turn. And we're just going to move over to Dione. As for the competition, they're trying to go to Enceladus, but they can't because I've got a base there already. Going to Dione, which they can do. Then we will explore. Yes. We've got enough native explore still, so that's an E2. We will find exotic elements and natural wonder. 3 profit, but produce 0. So that's 3 profit for us. 1, 2, 3. I have 4 cards in hand. I was going to use this intercept, but now it's too late to worry about that. As for them, they're trying to go to Pallas or Interamnia, which they can do, so they get a discovery there. Special discovery, so they instead get an E2. Exotic elements. And they'll get another base out there as well. Let's see, this will actually give them 4 asteroid bases, which is going to give them a lot of profit. They get a biolab, which I'm almost certain is not a matching base for them. No, it's got to have life on it. But what it will give them is it will give them the combined profit from both contracts. So they will actually get a total of 5 profit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll bring them up to 29 profit to my 26. Now I'm going to remember to play intercept at the beginning of my turn so I can take an extra turn, which I will start with a research. What do I need here? I need build is what I need. Let's go 0G factory and 1 off the top. Okay. Then we'll replace that with mobile labs. Now I get to take another turn. So I will play... So I actually got build... Actually, did I need that? I didn't need that. Because I've got the industrial base here that I need to double my build values in Saturn. So I didn't actually need that because I've got build 3 native in my infra. So I actually didn't even need that card, but I took it anyway because there are bases, there are planets. Actually, there are places out in the extended solar system where I would need it. So never mind that. Right. So what do I want to build there? Because I will use the micro mesh for a build. What base do I want to build there? What are my options even? Let's build a... I'm not even really worried about the spaceport because both of our teams are moving out in the solar system. So there's really no need for me to worry about... There's really no need for me to worry about that because I've got plenty of move and it's all shielded. Is there anything in the offers that I need right now? I don't think there's even anything in the offers I really need either, so I don't really need a research base unless I want to maybe grab the antimatter prototype. Actually, I think I want the deep space probe, so I'm going to build a research base there, which will let me grab the... Actually, does research let me do anything else now that it's or advance my revelation marker 1 space. That would be the black marker, so I will just grab the deep space probe. And then we will replace that with an open gas core nuclear drive. As for the competition, they're trying to go to Dione. They can't because I've got a base there already. Actually, they should have been kicked off, by the way. Looking at low body mass, but they can't. Offers 1 and 4, and they're looking at research. The mobile labs are coming off the board, so they will get a profit from that. And they'll put out antimatter patent and microsplicers. Let's see here. We are going to go with... We probably should get moving, because now we need 3 bases. Actually, we got 3 bases in 1 region. So we did get that contract at least. 1, 2, 3. Now we want 3 bases beyond Jupiter, so I will go ahead. Transit additions from Uranus moons 2. Alright, so we've got plenty of build. So I'll actually move one of my teams out to Titania to build out there. Fortunately, I've got enough build that I can build a base out there. I'm getting ahead of myself, though. They've got a team on Umbriel, so they're going to get an E2 Discovery and a base. Water and exomicrobes to profit for the competition, which will bring them up to 32 profit and a base. That's a refinery, which I doubt... Actually, it is a matching base, so they gain X profit, where X is the tile's total production value, so that's a 1. So they'll gain another profit, go up to 33. And the team will get pulled off. As for me, I'm going to go ahead and explore on Titania, so that'll give me an E2 Discovery. Ooh, exomicrobes, 2 profit, and genetics 1. So I get to advance my genetics marker again. Alright, so 2 profit, which means now I've got, actually, how much build do I need out there? I think I need build 7. Competition is looking at 2 discoveries and contract 6. So they actually have teams out that they can have discover. So they're going to go for an E3 on Callisto. Abundant water and aquatic life. So they'll gain 2 profit from that. And on Rhea they get an E2. Let's try that again. Abundant ores. Alright. As for me, let's see, 3 and 4 is 7, so that'll let me build a base out on Titania. The base I want to build out there is I want to build a biolab. So I'm going to build a biolab there, which will let me advance my genetics marker 1 space. Potentially get another modification. That also gives me a second base in... It also gives me a second base in a region beyond Jupiter. As for the competition, they're trying to go to Callisto, which they can't do because actually they can do. They can put a base there. That's a research base, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a matching base for them. Actually, no. If I have more profit than the competition, they gain 1, which they have more profit, so joke's on them. Haha. Let's see. From Uranus moons, I need 18 move. So I actually need to use some move. I actually need to use a move card in my hand if I want to get out to Triton. And I think I do. So I'm going to add my open gas core or my open gas core nuclear drive, to get me up to a total of 18 shielded move. Right? 12, 18, yep. And all of it's shielded because I'm radiation resistant. Actually, which team do I want to move out there? Yeah, we'll move this team out to Triton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't get to draw a card. As for them, as for the competition, they're trying to go to Ceres and Pallas. I'd be stunned. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, I don't think there's any way they can go to either one of those. Iapetus, they can. Alright, I'll use Native Explore to explore on Triton, so we get an E2 discovery. That's water, so a profit, and base costs 3 less. Base would be 10, so minus 3 is 7. So I gain a profit there. As for the competition, they're trying to go to Triton. So we're basically racing the team, we're basically racing them there. We don't have the build to build a base yet, but I think I will take a research action to get the build I need. I'll also take micro splicers. Yeah, we'll take micro splicers and the antimatter patent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so I can take a research. I can still take a research action. If there's something I really want, which there might be now that I see hostile microbes coming out. Let's see what the competition's doing here. They're trying to go to Titan, but they can't because we have a base there. Offers 1, 2, and 4 coming off the table. And the matching icon for Planeteers. They lose a profit for each genetics card discard, but gain a profit for each revelation card discarded. Which one is... okay. So they are losing a profit because they're discarding a genetics card. 1, 2, 4. They've got a nuclear mass driver, an open gas core nuclear booster, and a market influence. That's an edge. Market influence, the competition gains 2 profit, so they're up to 36 profit. Let's see. Now I have enough profit, or now I have enough build if I want to build a base there. What base would I want to build? Actually, in all honesty, I might want a spaceport out there. Fortunately, Triton doesn't have a penalty. Yeah, so let's go with that. We're going to use the antimatter patent plus the micro mesh to give us enough build, and we are going to build a spaceport out there. That'll kick them off, and that'll let me pull my other team out here. Alright. Now for the competition, they're trying to go to Oberon or Titania. They can get to Oberon. And now I can originate a build action, or a move action. I would need 24 move if I want to try to get to Charon. Let's see, I have 12. How much move do I have in hand? Let's see, that would be... yeah, 24 move. Fortunately, it's all shielded, so that's not a worry. I think I would need... actually, I might even be one short move to try to get to Charon right now. Because I've got 12 move. I've got 4, 3, 4. That's only 11. That's... actually, I am going to be one short. So I think my best plan right now is to backtrack, and I'm going to need 2 move cards to do that. So I am going to use my closed gas core nuclear drive and science booster both as numbers. But I will send a team... actually, wait a minute. I think the spaceport gives me a benefit, and that's why I built it there. We can double the value of any one move card or any one move infra card used if all moving teams begin at a spaceport. So if I go 8, 13, 18. So if I double my survey drones to get me up to 8 move, use the core nuclear drive for another 3 to get to 11, 16. Those should have been discarded. So that would put me at 16 move. Actually, these two aren't discarded yet. So what do we say? 8, and 8 is 16. 2024, we actually can get to Charon, and it's because our moving team began at a spaceport. Once again, we are going to need to get build cards in our hand. So hopefully we get a little help from the deck here, because we will get to draw. We already have build. Actually, we've got 10 build in our hand, but I'd prefer, that's not helpful. I'd prefer to use the micro splicers for genetics, but I might need to take a research action to get some more build in hand. Offers 1, 3, and 4 coming off the table. Unfortunately, that's the only build card coming out. 1 is another closed gas core nuclear drive. 2 for the analytic excavators, and 3 for a fusion drive. Let's go ahead and explore while we're out there. So that's an E2. We've got enough native explorer to do this. Pirates. When placed, each player with a team in this region loses a profit. Secure base only at this site, and base is +2. So we both lose a profit. We can only build a secure base there, and it costs 2 more. Ouch. So only a secure base there, which the secure base... Right. That wasn't helpful. And the competition is trying to get to Io, which they can. As for me... I think I'm actually going to use the micro splicers for genetics, so I can advance that. And I'm going to take the adaptation energy efficient. So now all of my build actions gain build 3. 4 cards in hand, so I get to draw up. Okay, I might take a research action to try to do something about that. Then they're trying to go to the highest number even site. Highest number even site right now is... Let's see here. I would think it's something deep out. Actually, it might be... Let's see, 16. That might be Charon right now. Triton's out because I built a base there already. Let's see, Triton's the highest at 18, but again, we've got a base there. 16 is Charon. 14 is Titania, also with a base. 10 is Oberon. 19 is Ganymede. 20 is Callisto, but that's out. Let's see, where's 18? 18 is Triton with a base. 16 is Charon. 14 is Titania. I think it's 16, so I think they're going out to Charon. Right. Okay, let's take a research action so I can try to advance my breakthrough marker. So I'll take analytic excavators and draw a card. Okay, that's helpful. And we'll replace that with another open gas core nuclear booster. Then they're trying to go to Interamnia or Ceres, both of which are occupied by bases. Trying to go to Dione, also a base. Iapetus, they'll get an explorer there and a base. So that's exomicrobes. So 2 profit for the competition, and they will build a base. And our deck is very nearly empty. That's a spaceport, and I actually... Where were they building? Oh, they were building out here in Iapetus. So there's no gravity penalty there, which means they gain... Okay, so they actually already have the first Beyond marker. Let's see, base costs 14 to build. Well, let's go ahead and use the 3 revelations to advance my breakthrough marker to 3. I'll grab the probe network, which means I get explore times 2. That's something that'll actually be more helpful later. That would be more helpful in the Starfarers phase, which we're not going to be playing. Wait a minute. Bases on 4 sites containing water or life. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since I just noticed it now, and the Automa has more bases, I'm going to give that to the Automa. Even though that's probably going to all but hose me on this game. And Mr. General is a little bit late to the party. On Sunday morning, Mr. General, I usually try to start as early as I can. Ideally, I start streaming before 8 a.m. Central Time, but in this case, I got a little bit of a late start because of how things turned out. Let's see, so that was their turn. As for me, I still need a lot more build in my hand here. And unfortunately, that's going to require me to go digging through... That's going to require me to probably go digging through half of what's left in the deck, because right now I've got build 6, and I would need build 14 to build on Charon with those pirates there. 624. Could I get out to Pluto and maybe build a base there? 5, 12, 15, 19. No, I couldn't. You'll try to remember that. All good, Mr. General. I know you're probably still getting used to how the channel works. So I'm not going to be too upset about that. I'm glad to have you aboard on the channel. Don't get me wrong. That's probably a little bit getting used to my routines and how my mind works. So I think the only way we could get out there is if I remember, actually, even if I double from Triton. Let's see, 8, 16, 19, 23. Nope, I'm even still short, so we're effectively stranded. So I think I do have to take a research action to try to get build in my hand. Which I got 1 build card, but I think... Actually, that might be enough. No. Even with the energy efficient, I'm still 2 builds short to be able to build on Charon. They're trying to go to Europa. We've got a base there already, so they can't. They actually are building a base on Charon, because of course they are. That's their exploiter base, which I doubt has a requirement to be a matching base. If it's got a production number, but that doesn't. So, never mind. Right. We were trying to get either... Actually, we did get a fusion drive, so we can have a team backtrack. Actually, we could probably have had this team come back to Triton. Let's see, if we're trying to get back to Uranus moons. 5, let's see, so 8, 16, yeah. We can actually have this team backtrack. We'll send them to Ariel instead. As for the competition, offers 2, 3, and 4, and that will trigger the end of the era, because my deck will be empty at that point. Because I've only got 2 offers left to put out. An open gas core nuclear drive and a deep space probe. I'm going to just discover, because there's no way we can win. I'm just going to explore and do a discovery out here on Ariel, because there's no way we're going to be able to make up the difference here. So let's see what we get for a final base in this game. An alien artifact, 2 profit and revelation 1, neither of which helps. I mean, it'll close the gap a little bit to make the loss a little less humiliating, but... And then that is it for the game. Or that's going to be where I'm going to call it a game here. At this point, we would repeat we do a little different setup for Starfarers, but I do need to get things torn down so I can get ready to continue the 1981 season replay today. That'll do it for this playthrough of SpaceCorp, and that's one of the things I really like about this game. Even though we lost 42-35, I really like that it's got these easy stopping points to it, where it's actually got easy stop and starting points, because in the box, I unboxed this a couple of years ago, but I don't think I even noticed it at the time, where there are also boards on here. So this would be a board that we'd have if we were starting at the Planeteers era, or we've got this board if we're starting at Starfarers. So it's actually very easy to jump. It's actually very easy to jump into this game at whatever point you want to be at. Now, granted, you're not going to have the kind of infrastructure built up if you're starting early, if you're starting at a later era in the game, but it is still fairly easy to jump in and out of this game. So definitely a good one for the collection, and one of these days I might take a long game day, set this one up and play all 3 eras of it. Definitely a lot of fun, and the fact that the moves give you numbers and help you add everything together was actually what helped me with learning Mage Knight a little bit. Obviously I've got a lot of work to do on learning Mage Knight, but the fact that it had a similar mechanic to SpaceCorp in giving you these numbers to help you use cards to accumulate the action points, and having that being the strength of the action, that was very helpful in helping to learn Mage Knight. So I'm rambling at this point. I've got a lot of work to do to get this transitioned back into a baseball setup. So let's wrap this video up. Later this afternoon, we'll be at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois, as we continue the 1981 season ticket baseball season replay. The Montreal Expos will be playing the Chicago Cubs. Ray Burris will be starting for the Expos, and Rick Russell will be on the mound for the Cubs. Wednesday, we're playing Astro Knights by Indie Boards and Cards. Saturday, Mystical Munchies will conclude out of the One Big Beautiful Cookbook as we make the dessert, All-American Apple Pie. Next week, we're playing Undaunted 2200 by Osprey Games. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.